All right, we're going live in 3, 2, 1. How's everybody doing today? I hope everyone is having a magical, wonderful, beautiful day today. My name is Colin with A Day at a Time. Hope everyone's having an awesome time. We're going to be talking about something that's been bugging me and that I've been living with for a very long time. And maybe I could shed some light on the situation for some people. This is what I'm talking about today is scoliosis and chronic back pain. One thing that I have lived with for basically my whole entire life, and it's something that I think people need to know a little bit more about if they don't already. Now, take in mind, remember this, that I am not a doctor. I don't have any sort of medical training. I don't have any sort of chiropractics degree. I don't know any of these things. So just remember that I'm talking from experience or from what I've read or from what I've been told. Other than that, that's all I know. So if I say something incorrectly, don't get triggered and pissed off. Please just gently and nicely comment below down here. If you have something that you want to say or something that you could clarify for me that could be beneficial for everybody, share your wisdom if you have it. Also, if you do enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up. Push that subscribe button down at the bottom below. It's if it's red for you, that means you're not subscribed. You're going to go have to ahead and click that. And then on the notifications is a little bell icon. Once you subscribe, you can do that to get known when we upload. So without further ado, let's jump right on in. So, scoliosis. What is scoliosis? Well, defined is abnormal lateral curvature of the spine. I'll put a picture right here, right there. And you can kind of see what I'm talking about. So it's when your spine is curved, basically. And I'll put a picture of myself so you can see what I look like, what my spine looks like when I'm just standing. Unfortunately, I don't have any x-rays, but we'll get into all that later. So, my history is scoliosis and back pain. I was diagnosed with scoliosis at a very young age. I was probably, I'm sure I've had it for, I don't know. It says that it happens during the growth spurt or right before that big growth spurt, just before puberty. So it could happen or could have happened around that time. So when I first was, told that I have it and I found out that I do, I was about, I would say 12 years old. And 12 years old is it's kind of scary to be told, oh, you have this lifelong condition that there's no cure for it. There's not a whole lot that you can do about it. It's just something that you're going to have to live with. So when you're 12 and you're told this, you're like, well, dang, man, that's a bummer. Like, that's scary too. So how I found out about having scoliosis was during a gym practice or gym class. One day they were doing scoliosis testing for all the boys and all the girls there. And how they did this was kind of weird, honestly, if you think about it now. And I don't know if they still do this or how they do it now, but when I was tested, we all went into the locker room, we all lined up, and we all walked into the locker room. When we were in the locker room, we had one of our PE teachers or one of our gym coaches basically say, all right, bend over. I think they brought in a specialist or somebody. I can't remember. I want to say it was just the gym teacher, though. Anyways, they got this specialist, they bent you over, they put a ruler to your back, and if they could see that your spine is curved, then you may have scoliosis, and they said, well, maybe you should go talk to a doctor about this. So I walk up, they bend me over, and then they tell me, you have scoliosis. Both of them say that. So I was freaked out. I was like, oh, shoot. I went to the office and I called my mom and I was thinking I'm going to die. I was like, oh, my God, this is the end of the world. I'm going to die. Like, this is terrible. No, it's just, constant pain for years and years and years and years. What's wrong with that? Well, so I went to a doctor and he ran some x-rays on my back, and he said, okay, yeah, you probably do have scoliosis. Like I said, remember, I'm probably 12 or 13 at this time. So I'm just going through starting puberty, and, I don't know what's going on, and he basically tells me, all right, you got scoliosis. This could be an issue for you in the future, but it's too early to tell. So basically, I just kind of blow it off. I forget about it. Well, let's fast forward till about I would say junior year of high school. I started working out pretty hard in high school. Around sophomore year, I started working out, and then junior and senior year got really heavy into weightlifting and into gym. And so I would be going to the gym 3-4 times a day. I mean, I would get up at 5 a.m. before school. I would go work out. I would have a third period gym class, and then I would work out after school, and then sometimes I would work out at that same night with some friends. We would go on a run, or we would go lift weights, whatever it was. And that's a lot of lifting, and I was lifting pretty heavy. I got in, a lot of my friends were football guys or wrestlers, and so we're always competing to see who could lift heavier. And I got pretty strong. I was good looking at the time. My muscles were really well defined, and I was getting size, but at what cost, right? So it started getting worse and worse, my pain. And I kind of noticed this in high school. So it was junior or senior year, I went back to the doctor. Doctor said, yeah, you definitely have scoliosis, and it's not very good, the way your back is. So what's happening with mine is I have herniated discs, and one of my discs is slipped right now. I have to get that fixed. So that's been bringing me a lot of pain, and I'm going to basically tell you about how it's affected my life and how I kind of combat this pain and this disease, or this mutation. So what I did was I started going to chiropractor. Chiropractor basically said, all right, we'll give you adjustments. We did x-rays, we did consultations. A lot of people don't believe in chiropractors. I think myself that they work for me. So if they work for you, go for it. Recommend it. Don't knock it till you try it, and don't discredit somebody's degree or hard work that they've worked for. Yeah, it's a scam. It's a scam. You don't know that. If you haven't done it and you don't suffer from this, and you just have a regular normal back or very minor scoliosis, then you may not need it. But I got pretty severe scoliosis. I'll put a picture of what a scoliosis spine versus a normal spine looks like right here, and I'll also put a picture afterward of a picture of me and my back, so you can kind of see where the S starts. It's mostly my lower back, but my slip disc is right in the middle of my back. I forget what part of the vertebrae that is, but so okay, so I'll explain what a herniated disc is. I have my L4 and L5. I'll put a picture right here of what the L4, L5, S1, and S2 look like, where my pain really, the hub of my pain is. So my L4 and L5 are herniated. My L4, L5, S1, and S2 basically have no cartilage left either. So what that means is they're kind of grinding on each other, and that also can cause nerve damage and pain and things like that. So herniated disc. Some herniated discs herniated disc is a condition in which the annulus fibrosus, which is the outer portion of the vertebrae, disc is torn, enabling the nucleus, which is the inside portion. It's like a gelatinous substance that's inside of your spine, to herniate or extrude through the fibers. The herniated material can compress the nerves around the disc and create pain that can radiate through the back, sometimes down the arms, and if the herniation is in the cervical spine, down the arms if the herniation is in the cervical spine, and then in the legs if the herniation is in the lumbar spine. So I get numbness in my legs. I also get numbness in my arms, which I think is attributed to maybe the slip disc or just a terrible fucked up back. But regardless, it causes constant pain all the time, and it really affects the way I do things. If I go out in public and I go to Disneyland, or if I go on a date, which requires a lot of standing all time, things like that, it's really hard for me to do. I can't stand for more than a couple hours without having to sit down, maybe an hour or two, without having really bad pain. Got to stretch, got to sit down for maybe 10-15 minutes and rest my back. I'm 23 years old. That's not good. And so how do I combat this? Well, let's go back, talk about the herniated discs, and we'll get into what I've been doing. So the herniated disc. Okay, this condition occurs when the soft center of the spinal disc pushes through a crack in the tougher exterior casting. Some herniated discs cause no symptoms. So you could have a herniated disc and have no symptoms at all. Others can irritate nearby nerves, result in pain, numbness, or weakness in the arm and leg. Not every disc needs intervention, which is when needed. Treatment includes medication, physical therapy, and possibly surgery. So let's kind of talk about that. Treatment includes medication. Well, a lot of the time when you have back pain, you get prescribed painkillers. That's only natural. I was prescribed Vicodin. I was prescribed hydrocodone. And I was at one time prescribed Oxycontin because it got so bad. Very low dose, but Percocets or something like that. And the thing with painkillers is, yes, they work when you need them, but they also are very addictive. They have a lot of side effects that happen with them. People can get addicted to them. They can be just a detriment to your health. They can cause liver issues. They can cause issues, just more issues than they kind of help in aiding with, right? So I figured, let's 86 the painkillers. I can go without them. I don't want to get addicted to these things. I don't want to have any issues or problems going down the line with this. So I said, I'll take the painkillers and use it if I ever need it. I try not to use them. But sometimes, you take one because it's so bad. It's like you get so much pain that you feel like you want to just cry and curl up in a ball and like you don't want to do anything. And when I work out, I usually work out pretty hard. I'll be bench pressing, 200-300 pounds, dumbbell pressing 100-pound dumbbells, shoulder pressing 80, 90 to 100-pound dumbbells for shoulder press or military press. All these things compress your spine because you're putting a lot of pressure down. You're also putting a lot of pressure on your back. So a lot of times that happens from improper form, too much weight, or working out too much and not working the muscles and the parts that are more beneficial for you. So that's where I've kind of pivoted in my workouts. If you see in some of the workout videos that I'm going to post or I have posted, depending on when this comes out, you may say, hey, this guy, I'm strong. I definitely am strong, and I do enjoy working out. I do love pushing myself, but I only do that very, very seldom. I do that very seldom, and I do that because if you go too heavy and you max all the time or you put a lot of weight up, you're gonna hurt yourself and you're gonna exacerbate existing problems, just like with my spine. So I've tried painkillers. It wasn't for me. I tried ignoring it for the longest time. I tried for a couple of years. I tried to ignore it and not do anything about it, and that didn't work either. I definitely needed to do something. So I started going to the chiropractor. Like I said, my guy is awesome. He did a consultation. He does adjustments for me. It's been a little while since I've been, so I should go back. But one thing that he did was he got this muscle electrode device and he puts it on my back and it reads where the muscles are constantly tensing up. And what, to my understanding, they do is they'll tense up and they'll just squeeze and they'll try to push and fix your spine. That's the amazing thing about the human body is it tries to fix itself, right? So I have these muscles that are constantly just pushing on my spine and they're always tense. So I have a lot of muscle spasms and things in my back. And it's a bummer and it hurts and it's a pain in the ass, but it's something that I have to just live with and deal with on a daily basis. So what have I done to fix this, to help this? Well, what I've been doing is not lifting as heavy, not pushing all that pressure down on my spine, pushing up the military press with the barbell or dumbbells, not putting a lot of weight up. I've been focusing on my lower back a little bit more. One thing that helps a lot too is if you're a weightlifter and you have back pain, work on your core. It could be that your core is not engaged enough and you need to work on your core a little bit more. So that's one big thing that I started doing is I started working on my hip flexors, my hip abductors, my core, my lower abs, and I'm forgetting the name now. The muscles that connect to the V. Your lower core, basically, is something that will help tighten it up where I'm at because it's my L4, L5, S1, and S2, which is basically the four vertebrae right by your tailbone and those coming down to the very end of your back. And so it hurts, it sucks, but one thing that I've done is doing those core workouts have helped tremendously. Also working on my hip flexors, my hip abductors, and engaging my core, my lower core, Those things all together have been helping with my pain. But there are just days when you're going to have really bad back pain. Can't do much about it. You got to take an Advil or take whatever you do, stretch, whatever your routine is. In the morning, I get up every single day. I get in the shower. I turn on my shower really hot, and I let the warm water, and I do this at night too after my workout or right before bed. I let the water run on my back. I bend over. I stretch out my back, which will segue into the next thing is stretching. So I'll bend over. I'll let the water run down my back, alleviate those tense muscles that get there, and I'll also do stretches in the shower, things like that to help pull my spine out. I've also got an inversion chair. That helps a little bit with pulling the spine outward, and because of constant pressure pushing down, especially just standing up, if you have muscle or if you're a little bit bigger, depending on your weight, that can also be a problem because it puts pressure down because of gravity's pulling you down. I'm going to trigger some people. Gravity pulling you down, and this is going to put a lot of pressure on your spine. So you got to find ways to pull your spine back and put it back to where it's supposed to be. So I use the inversion chair. That helps a little bit. In stretching. Stretching is a huge thing. Do not forget to stretch, guys. Every time you work out, stretch in the beginning and after post-workout. Always stretch. Always. It's crucial. It's imperative. It is necessary to stretch. You need to do it. Yoga is a huge thing. I started doing yoga for men out there who say, nah, bro, yoga's for chicks. I don't want to do yoga. Let me tell you something, man. Yoga works. If you have back pain, yoga works. If you want to get more flexible and you want to have more movement of your back, range of motion, yoga works. Just give it a try. And plus, man, here's the thing. I don't care if you want to be a manly man. So yeah, dude, I don't want to work. I don't want to do it, bro. It's not me, dude. It's for chicks. First of all, you're an idiot. And second, man, there are pretty girls in there. What are you doing? There's beautiful women inside. You can meet somebody. Maybe you're single. You meet someone in yoga. I mean, don't go hitting on chicks. Don't do that. They hate that. But maybe you'll find someone. You'll spark a conversation. Why are you in yoga? Oh, I'm here because I want to cry all the time because my back hurts. It works. You might meet a new friend. Men use it. I mean, everybody does yoga that knows the benefits of it. So try it. Yoga really is awesome for that kind of stuff. Stretching, like I said, keep stretching. Stretch before your workout, stretch after your workout. Stretch. Get in the sauna. One of my favorite things, I go in the sauna and I stretch after my workout. I'll stretch previously, before my workout, and I'll go into the sauna after my workout and stretch whatever muscles I worked that day. I'll also stretch my back. I use a back roller, a foam roller. I can make a video on that, on how to properly use that. Stretch out your lower back, your middle back, your shoulders, different things, different ways to just keep this at bay. Because a lot of times people don't want to go to surgery, and I don't want to go into surgery. I don't want to be out of commission and not be able to work out and not be able to work. I train people. I make these videos. I do different things. And if I'm out and I'm under surgery and I'm taking painkillers again and I'm doing these things, I'm not going to be able to do all the stuff that I normally do. So I want to push everything I can first and utilize every source of information and everything that I can before I go into surgery. So those are just some of the things that I have done in the past and that I continuously do to combat the back pain that constantly bombards me in my daily and day-to-day lifestyle. It's a bummer. It sucks. If you have it, you know what I mean. If you don't, God bless. And, pray. Pray for your local scoliosis sufferer. Because it's terrible, man. I wouldn't wish this upon anybody, especially if you have low cartilage in your back and you get nerve damage and nerve pain. I got this sciatic pain that goes down my leg. That's what it says when you have the weakness or numbness in your arm or leg because of herniations in the spinal cord and the spine in the vertebrae. Different things like that cause pain and numbness. And I get numbness in my arms. I get numbness in my legs. I get pain shooting down the front of my, down the side and the front of my leg, all the time. It's hurting right now as I'm speaking. And another thing is, if you sit at a computer all the time, I really recommend getting those back foam pads for the back, and then also the ones you sit on. I have one for you that you sit on, and I have one for my back that sits there. It keeps your back kind of arched up. Focus on your posture. If you can notice, I'm slouching, but I'm trying to slouch to get in the shot. Normally I'd sit a little up higher like this. I'm just trying to be in the shot. So those are the things that you can do to proactively combat this scoliosis and combat the pain that you have. Because if you're not doing anything about it, well, you can't really complain. And sure, you can take the easy way out. You can take the painkillers. You can get the surgery. But there are things that go along with that you need to be aware of. Side effects, problems. People get addicted to the painkillers. You may not ever... a lot of times I've heard a lot of people that get back surgery, they never come back out of surgery the same as when they went in. So just be careful with those kinds of things. Try working out. If you're overweight, try losing some weight. You can always contact me if you have any questions on weight loss. I personally train. I do private personal training. I make videos on fitness and keeping people healthy. This is my lifestyle, and I'm happy to spread as much wisdom as I possibly can. All that aside, try the yoga, try the stretching, try the lower core engagement. Try doing lower body, like for me with my lower back hurts, I do low, very low weight, high repetition, 4 to 5 sets or 5 or 6 sets of maybe 15 to 30 reps with very low weight. So, I keep that at a very minimal thing because I'm trying to strengthen the muscles around the spine. So when you do deadlifts, maybe do just the bar or just a 25 on each side. Do that, 95 pounds, and do 20 of them. I do rows, seated rows, bent over rows. The things that pull the muscles together and hold your spine, you really want to focus on those. And for me, that's what I've been doing that really helps, is focusing on those types of muscles, focusing on those exercises, and also not overdoing it. Overdoing it in the gym is a big thing that a lot of people do. I used to do it in proper form. Make sure that your form is great. I'm going to start making videos about how to do certain workouts properly, because some people I see all the time are just not doing it correctly, and that's going to further prolong you and further exacerbate your pain, and it could also bring a lot more damage with muscle with your muscular system. And so you want to avoid that at all costs, is what I'm saying. So if you found this video helpful, if you have any other questions, feel free to comment below down there in the comment box. Please, if I gave you any bit of information, if there's anything else that if you enjoyed the video and anything else that you want to hear about, please give me a thumbs up so I know you liked the video. Comment below if you have any questions for me or anything that you have that you could also share some knowledge on, shed some light on. And also remember to hit that subscribe button, that big red button down there. If that's red to the left hand side of the screen under my video, go ahead and please subscribe. And as always, forget about the past, don't worry about the future, and live your life a day at a time. Thank you so much for tuning in, and have a wonderful day.